You're listening to the Groundbreaking community stream.
Hi, this is Q live and direct from Pune. For today's episode, we have my very old friends from college. We've spent a lot of time working together, traveled the world together. What's up, Puneet and Pragya?
Hi.
Yeah, these guys have been doing some kick-ass work out there and running an independent design agency. I think we'll start with introducing each other. Maybe you'd like to. What's up? What's up, Pragya?
Hi.
Yeah, it's so good to be in Pune.
Thank you for coming and having us on your podcast.
Yeah, what's up?
Well,
What's up, Puneet?
thank you so much for having us on this.
So yeah, so I think we'll just talk about your journey and how what kind of projects you've been cooking and what is up. Yeah. So we can also discuss about our journey in college and how difficult was it to get that design degree out there. What's up?
So I'll start with this. Right after we graduated, I was doing a couple of freelancing work for some company, and even like Pragya was also doing it, Abhijit was also doing it, all of them were doing it. So I was thinking, like let's all of us get together and do something big together. So that's how this whole plan started.
Yeah.
And
I
then
remember talking about it in college time, but we were also looking in that scenario where to make a crazy portfolio and get a job in some fancy ass company.
Yeah, we have some dreams.
Pragya got some.
Yeah, she
in her
got
bucket.
really good
Yeah.
exposure for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have
Definitely.
that
Yeah.
edge to it. Like, and we started with Opacity, I think after a year of that decision.
Yeah. Yeah, we never thought that we would be one day freelancing and, doing our own thing. We, of course, thought we would go to respective places, wherever we get a job, typical,
The job was, yes, it was there in the mind, for sure. But then again, like I was also thinking personally, like it will be very different and convenient per se in terms of working hours as well. And in terms of job, I have done a couple of internships, and I have to say, like, I don't think job fits my forte at all. And
Yeah.
like, there's very less creative space that you can find there.
Yeah, definitely. It's
You know,
one of the
when you
things
have
that
some
we always
boss-
complain about.
Yeah, like, so, and especially like I feel after you have graduated, you have this urge of working on very cool products or work under a very reputed designer.
All right. Do you want to talk about what Opacity and Co is all about and the kind of projects you are up to? What's the idea? What is Opacity and Co like? What is it?
So Opacity and Co is like is on a very it's like a very starting phase of our journey throughout our lives. So it's still on its baby stage, but we started this after we got together from our freelance life, and then we started this small studio space called Opacity, and
Yeah.
we like to make opportunities through technology, design, and of course art. So that's basically what we want to focus on, and of course industrial design is something that suits and fits
Yeah, like
our domain.
we fit there,
Yeah.
industrial design
Yeah.
there, and then from here we started last year. Basically, we did some content creation a bit more aggressively because like the amount of work that we have in terms of in our portfolio right after we graduated, it was all automotive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually automotive companies they will not go for, I feel, for a bunch of people who just graduated from so and so school, and they cannot, I think, have the full amount of trust in them.
And
Initially.
so it's basically not an automotive agency, but more like a
Yeah.
You can
industrial design.
industrial design, automotive as well. Obviously, we can.
Yeah,
do
of
it.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
that's where you've spent a
So,
lot of hours.
Yeah, lot
Yeah.
of hours. 3 years, all 3 years. Like shuru ke 2 years were foundation. All of us have spent the same thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I've been seeing some really kick-ass stuff from your side,
you,
so
thank
I'm
you so
really
much.
looking
Thanks.
forward to it. So one of the agenda of this podcast is to just kind of giving an idea about choosing freelance or going on your own, uh, so that people will also get to know about how you are doing and what do you think? Because freelancing is one of the things where you just go for it and it feels like a nightmare, and
Yeah,
then
of
you
course.
just go to your safe space and maybe look for jobs. And let's try to cover as much as information for the listeners to
Yeah.
implicate in their
Uh,
own processes.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is very important for people to know that it's not just like when you're freelancing, it's not just all about getting money in. It's also about having that money and sustaining with it
Yeah.
until you
Definitely.
find your next client.
So when did you think about going for, like, okay, not going for jobs, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm gonna do my own shit, or like, because I remember in college we were looking forward to crack some good jobs out there abroad and stuff.
It's really all about opportunity. Everyone has a skill. Everyone is talented. So that's what we thought
Yeah.
as a group, that we have good amount of potential, and why not? Like, and especially a marketplace like India, you have to be right now. Our work, our whole group's work is really really good. So we thought of having our own agency for
Yeah.
this, and like introduce ourselves, and this is the right time
Yeah.
for that.
And I think if you have like entrepreneurship aspirations with a passion for design, you may find yourself automatically sort of steering away from a typical, job scenario and doing your own thing. So that's the thing that we actually thought that what would be the right time to start doing, a startup per se. So it's actually like after you graduate, because it was a decision between security and freedom, and right now we don't have too much to worry about because we're very young and we recently graduated. So it's something that we wanted
Yeah,
to
and
go.
you have all this energy, all these new ideas.
You have so
Like,
much.
Why
yeah.
not pursue them right away, right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
One of the ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Of
ways.
course, because of this pandemic situation, things are different. How did it hit you? Like as an agency, how did it hit you? Like, did you get some interesting projects, or how were you working in the pandemic phase where most of the indies were struggling towards something? And yeah, what do you have to talk about? Like,
So during the pandemic, initial 2 months, we were thinking about the same topic, as it to like would people want to invest more in their business and would they want to hire? Then we came up with this interesting article about like how it should you should not see it in a way as to like really.
So I mean,
yeah,
But
making a
become-
system where you are sustainable and like
Yeah, like you
not
have to
relying-
like think about it, because like you are not getting any projects. So now we were thinking about how to like attract more clients in. Like, so we started doing some conceptual mask and visor projects, and internally we started spreading the word out. So there's this website called Fiverr as well. So we are active there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Fiverr is
uploaded,
a-
we
yeah.
uploaded
Yeah.
our let's say pandemic portfolio on Fiverr.
Okay, yeah. I think
And,
Fiverr lately it's getting very famous. So Fiverr is basically a platform where you get freelance projects
Yeah.
from like industrial design, and those who doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
It's US based. if I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
wrong.
US
It is
based.
it's US
It actually started very interestingly. Fiverr was basically a platform where you pay only for $5 and you
Oh,
can get
damn.
any
I didn't
service
know
done.
that.
But of course now, like it's been a while,
So all types of people are there. on
So
Fiverr.
yeah, it's crazy. But in fact, when the pandemic hit, we actually, while we were looking for projects and putting up our pandemic portfolio out, we actually got interesting projects related to the pandemic, which was to make a couple of ventilator designs, and people suddenly started
Yeah.
seeing a lot of potential in how to make this whole stage of the pandemic better for other people. So I guess that's when I think a lot of freelancers were doing well. But yeah, we were doing well. We were doing
Yeah,
well.
That's
Yeah.
great to
Yeah.
hear, Pragya.
Decent.
That's smooth. So what have you been doing lately? Like what tool are you using, or do you want to talk about some current interesting project which is coming up, and it's upon you if you don't want to talk about it.
No, we
I mean, of
could,
course,
of course, we can share some.
Yeah, like the main tool that we, like the industrial designers that are listening right now, they probably know that the main thing is, of course, your 3D skills and your 2D skills. So that's something that we mostly focus on. Like we do sketches, and then, of course, we do a lot of 3D ideation as well, like 3D doodling and sketches. So I think 3D Fusion 360 is something that we use all the time. And we're doing a little bit of Blender.
Yeah, we started learning Fusion last year.
Last year, yeah, and now we're doing a lot of engineering projects, like 3D printing related projects. So like if you're interested in 3D printing, I think Fusion 360 is a good software.
Yeah, I've been using Blender lately. It's like it's been more than a year. I think that's my bread and butter at this moment.
Yeah.
It's a really great tool, and you have everything inside it. Like you talk about texturing, UV mapping, rendering, animation. It's crazy. I'm really looking.
Like, but like, can someone perfect their skills on render on Blender? Ever?
Yeah, it's like any other tool, I think, and you know,
can someone know the entire software? There are so many things.
I'm sure there are people who are giving courses and spent more than. Do you know it's more than 20-year-old? Yeah. So there are people who've been using this software for more than 20 years, which is crazy, right? There's one of the courses it's crazy. So the best part about this Blender community is that there are tons of people working behind the scene to make the software better, writing codes and trying out stuff. So even a lot of the people from their own team doesn't know what they can do about it. It's endless. So yeah, it's a crazy tool. It's a crazy.
This podcast is not sponsored by Blender.
Or by Fusion 360.
By Fusion 360.
Oh yeah, it's a freeware, so it deserves a shout out.
Yes,
maybe.
for sure, yeah.
So let's talk about our college a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like
Great
those
days.
who all doesn't know that we were in the same college, and it was a pretty crazy and hectic environment we've been through with, and it's. You want to talk about something? We have someone who has worked with brands like Tesla. You want to talk about Pragya? We all we were going crazy when we got to know that she got into Tesla.
Wow.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
I think that was the first thing I wanted to ask you in the beginning of this podcast.
Sure.
Yeah. How do you get into it? Like, how can you get into a brand like Tesla? Dude, it's like a dream brand.
It's like a dream, and like people, you can't get in. Like you cannot.
How, dude? Like,
how will you find the fucking contact? You know? Who would you approach? Why would they want to be with you and shit like that?
Well, I will tell you.
But yes, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Well, I did not directly apply to Tesla because, of course, like how we all were wondering like how can even someone send any of her stuff or any of her work there. But they found my work on LinkedIn. And then they reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then they saw my portfolio there. So I had one interview, and then the second interview. So and then the third one was an email, which was
gangster rap in the background,
which was like signed by Elon Musk. In the end, it was an electronic signature in the end, but good enough. So that's how I got in, and it was an incredible journey for me. I was there for 4 months. And I was there when they were working on the new Roadster and the semi truck. So I worked a little bit on the semi, and I worked on a little bit of the pickup truck, which now is the cyber truck. So at that time I was the pickup truck. So it's
truck.
Pretty very good exposure.
Yeah, we all kind of like it was. Of course, it was some bizarre thing came up to us.
Came out.
Yeah. So,
and the best part about Tesla was that their mentality was still a startup mentality. It wasn't about they're a big company. So the team was very small. It was 11 designers, 5 exterior and like 6 interior designers, including me. So it was a very small team, and you wouldn't expect such a fancy I mean, you would expect a fancy studio and so, but no, they're very, grounded and very humble in their ways.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like a crazy learning. There,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Working alongside
Crazy
Elon
learning.
Musk.
Yeah,
Right?
very nice.
That's crazy.
Seeing him in the same room as well.
He used to
That's
come,
so fucking cool,
That is
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
he used to come to the studio every Friday, so we used to have a review with him every Friday. So.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yes, I think everyone knows now.
Definitely. So, what are your plans like? Are you planning to put up a studio out there, or you gonna work remotely? What are your plans like?
We are
And how are you because of this scenarios we have to work remotely, but is this the way you are gonna head
Yes,
on
that's
to?
possibly something that we're looking towards. Like eventually, in a couple of years, we will, of course, have a more proper establishment with our name Opacity Co as a proper industrial design store. But right now, we do prefer working remotely, and for a more independent sort of future that eventually will lead us to a more collaborative future.
Yeah, like trying to get more projects in,
Yeah.
getting good content out there, inviting more clients in, or like possibly after some time like get more clients so you can hire more talent, people
Yeah.
who are better, maybe at something.
Yeah.
At something like you cannot perfect everything obviously, so you have to find some other guy who is only specializing in, let's say, VFX.
Yeah,
or,
that's the way to it.
yeah, so I think like that would be that's our plan, and we are working on like some really interesting stuff.
So we are talking about the real deal, the clients. How are you getting them? Like, do you wanna share some of your tips or the process once you have the client with you and how to go with it? It's for the people who are maybe trying to go into the freelance scene and figuring out how people are doing it. So would you like to
Yeah.
share your initial steps?
Yeah.
How do you get good clients, or like once you have the clients, how did you go through the process to?
Yeah, just for people listening, like there is no perfect way or any proper pathway that will get you clients. You really have to try your luck on everything. So we have a workout on most design platforms. So that's how we get, like for example, Behance. We have a work over there. So we've gotten a lot of projects from Behance. Also, to our surprise, recently we started getting projects and people inquiring on Instagram. And Instagram is a really cool place because all you have to do is sort of like DM a studio or a company that you want to work for and just say, hi, I'm freelancing.
Yeah, talk to them. Say
And
hi.
do you hire freelancers? So I think right now the world is smaller than it really appears.
It's easy to reach as
Yeah.
of now. Yeah.
And of course, we have some good friends also that, we have a design community of our friends that we are, going on from university. So we sort of keep shuffling projects here and there. Our business model is something like we find work and we may acquire it on our own, or we may pass it on and, help collaborate and make a bigger design community. So. Like right now, that's what we want to focus on.
That sounds really crazy. Like to the people who are trying to like the people who are in their schools or in college and want to dive into the design world, like how do you think the education is important? Because some of the colleges are really expensive. And what do you think in this remote working and online classes world, how a person can get into design, whether it is communication design or industrial design? What do you think about it? How do you think that they can make it work?
Like
I think like they can, if they are really
Because
interested into it.
because
You have to like let's say start right now. Like if they have this like strong intention that they really want to do this, practice is the best thing in this. Like you have to start somewhere, and you have all the medias available, at least traditional.
Yeah, I think this is
even let's say a logo designer can start from this.
Yeah, this is the best time to be a designer. I think
you can
Or
learn
to become
so
one.
many things.
There are a lot of
just
resources.
online.
Yeah, there are a lot of resources out there. which got free in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
And I think that companies or people that hire talent for design, they usually look at portfolios rather than degrees. So I think making good portfolio and curated portfolio, for example, you won't be sending the same portfolio everywhere. You have to curate it according to wherever you're sending it. And that.
But here again, I think one of the drawbacks in this situation will be that you're not getting mentored by some
mentorship.
Mentorship is
that you can analyze, like
Yeah.
So the mentorship and those like those moments you have with the mentor when the person says some like increase the fillet, and that gives you another idea because of that person.
Yeah.
So that is not there in self-learning in this.
The perfection will come after.
Practicing.
Practicing.
That's definitely
Practicing is the
something.
best thing, like,
I think the people who are in their school or college and they think that they like design and want to try something. There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of platforms like Coursera, edX, and there are a lot of shitloads of videos out there on YouTube. You just type there and you have
everything in front of you.
Yeah.
So I think I wish we had that.
We had that. We didn't have that when we were starting out. There was nothing.
It used to be
But
so
I
hard.
also feel like if you have like more options, it gets more difficult for you to choose from.
Yeah, that's
And
there. And
the
also
consistency in the particular subject lacks, and they stop being consistent. Then you stop, and you get disappointed. So all that loophole starts from this.
and also because of the design schools are really expensive to a limit compared to any other course you would like to do.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times they just decide to quit. Okay, let's just not do it and like do just some random course like engineering or something. It's great that people are choosing art and design as their full-time career now. So it's a good thing. It's getting better.
It's
yeah,
good.
we are winning.
That also means that people are open-minded now.
Yeah, that's cool. Also because of the internet, right? So yeah, we were talking about clients, right? We kind of lost it.
So I had this one client, and I wanted to work with him, and he did not know about me at all or about Opacity. So what I just did, I made a project for him, and thinking that he would like this, looking at his studio and his work, and then I sent my portfolio to him with that particular work. And after 3-4 months, then I got a reply on LinkedIn, by the way, and he said that I like your work. So this is one way of getting a client. Like if
Just reach out on.
And the thing is, when you're reaching out, like obviously you know that you have put so much work into it, and you need to have that faith in it.
Yeah.
If you won't have it, the client won't have it.
You have to have that consistency and like reaching out to them, and also like keeping in touch with them. That's I think very important.
Clients really appreciate this. Like they have like often like told us that we appreciate you are keeping in touch. So and so was the reason we could not get back. This is the reason now we can.
Sometimes we just give up. We just shoot them a message and like expect them to reach out to us with all the
no,
work
that
and
does not happen. Like so, even if the client likes your work, there's not 100% guarantee you're going to work with them.
Oh, yeah.
There's not that. So because now it comes down to analytics, like in terms of how will he do this? That client, does he want to pay so much, or does he want to go with some other designer? So they also price hunt at the first moment.
Yeah.
And then you have this one call with them, and then somehow it happens, and
this is how
the vibe clicks, and like if the client laughs for some time, you got the job.
That's a cool. So do you want to talk about hard clients? I mean, people who gives you hard. I'm sure there are a bunch of
assholes
so
out
many.
there. Whoa.
No, there's so many clients that we've had that actually have given us a hard time. But honestly, like it just makes the good clients better. That's how you have to look at it.
Grateful.
You're more grateful for better work, and of course, at the end of the day, challenges come, and it's gonna be there throughout your whole life. You will have interesting clients that you may not vibe with, but of course, a job is a job. You have to be professional. And as freelancers, like that's the thing, like you're not backed up by a company or, by legality. So you sort of have to save your own
You have to be your own lawyer.
You have to
actually.
be
Like,
your
You have
own.
to stand by yourself.
You have to be more than one single thing
Yes.
in order to manage
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That's why it becomes like a nightmare to a lot of them because they just panic and think about, okay, how to do it, and I'm not getting any kind
Yeah.
of projects. How do I reach out? So yeah, it's still a scary it's still a scary slope out there because
It is.
people still scared about choosing freelance as their full-time career. So through this episode, I just wanted to share as much as information they can get to be more comfortable about going independent. So
Yeah.
what are the hard things they need to keep in mind to
Hard
start
things.
freelancing?
Well, hard things. I mean, like the struggle. You
Basically,
need-
all of it.
Everything
Yes,
involved,
like you
because
need
there
to-
are so many.
You need to understand, like with a normal job, the line of your, the rate of you earning is going to be constant. Whereas as a freelancer, the rate of what you're going to be earning is going to fluctuate. It's either you're going to have some good days, you're going to have some bad months, and so you sort of have to keep going. And in the long run, I mean, we are still very early in our freelancing life.
we all are
but-
figuring out our way.
Yeah, but I've seen some really successful freelancers that are have been doing this for about 10 to 15 years, and they are living an amazing, peaceful, independent, free life. So I mean, it's
Free
working.
life, they get to make their own
Yeah.
routine in their lives, their own.
Yes.
Yeah, you learn a lot.
You
also
learn.
on
You
yourself.
can learn something extra in your life if you have some other wish to learn.
Focus on your mental health, physical health.
Yes.
Yeah, you're at
Yeah.
home. Like it's such a chilled out way of instead of like working under a boss where there's less creativity. For example, like this is so much better. Like you're master of your own time in terms, but you are delivering obviously on time.
Yeah.
We sound like we're like putting a cry out
The
for
thing-
a cult, a freelancer
No,
cult.
the thing is, if a life like this is possible, like why
Yes.
not try it?
Why not try it? Give it a shot.
And you get to learn so many things like entrepreneurship. Like you're managing, you're being a businessman here.
Yeah.
You are opening a project, looking for a client, opening a project, signing the NDA, then you're moving forward. Then you're closing the project. So there's no one else who is closing the project for us.
And
It's only independent designers who get to do it.
yeah, definitely. So like a lot of clients, sometimes they just have a brief in their head and doesn't know anything about design. So I think last time also we've met, we were talking about how to make our client understand about the design process so that we can be more effective about the output. So how do you guys do it? Like how do you or do you do it, or do you have some different kind of process to go through it?
So we do have a sort of way, a process that we do follow, and of course, like we have curated a process according to the client. And if the client doesn't have sort of design education or a design background, we of course familiarize them first beforehand. We start our work that this is what
So
the
let's say we like
this is what the
we-
outcome's gonna be and stuff like that.
Let's say like we would like send them some mood board, and we would ask them to select any image that they like. So we get to understand their design aesthetic, where they are heading towards in terms of their own product.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to make it look like this, like that, but they don't have the vocabulary or the sentences in the
Yeah.
right form.
So you sort of basically teach
Visually-
them
Yeah.
about the process.
Yeah, educate
and so
them.
that,
Like most of the times, like during the struggling
and do you think
struggling
like
phase.
how much do you think it's important about teaching your client about design, or it's something which takes a lot of time? Because I think once they know about the process, the rest of the process becomes easier. So what do you think?
It also depends on the client actually. If the client is too stuck up in his or her own way that he or she wants it to look like this or that, that client would be difficult to educate in terms of design. Let's say if there's a client who is like I trust your design, let's say, and that guy lets us do whatever we feel like doing, and we present it to him. And then there are some changes. So like that's a different client. That client is the client that you can educate properly. Because he's
Yeah.
like open-minded, and not
Yeah,
not really
definitely.
stuck up with his ways.
Yeah. So
It also depends on the length of the project.
I mean, I think best thing for a client who doesn't have, a design education would be that we give him a sort of timeline that, let's say, if a project is a month long, so we show sort of like every week what we're up to and what we're doing. And of course, show them the trends and aesthetics that are going on right now. So, the client also does familiarize with the whole process.
Yeah.
Great.
But I'm
that's,
sure it's also there for every client.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposed to be.
Yeah, that's...
No, but the main conclusion is like showing them more visual things so that they can relate to their product.
Yeah,
I think that would be
makes
the
more, because
Benchmarking.
everyone speaks.
Benchmarking.
Everyone speaks. Like they understand once they have visuals around them and stuff.
They understand better.
Definitely, playing with images, making stylescapes to
Yeah.
get them.
So even for our projects, like if the client wants us to do some visualization, we would like give him some examples of our work. And
by visualization, you mean 3D rendering?
3D rendering, I mean, industrial design 3D rendering, and so you send them some benchmarks and they like some samples, and then we move ahead with it. Then we take the details from it, and then we move ahead.
All right. So basically, currently you are just the kind of services you are providing is industrial design, product design, and
visualization. Yeah.
We did a couple of branding projects.
Yeah. Just a couple of them.
Yeah, how are you all like keeping up with the design trends, and how are you working when you have creative block or the tools, the new tools? Every day there are new tools out there, like new.
There are so many tools out there.
And sometimes it's very.
It's
you cannot know everything, obviously.
Yeah.
So how does it affects you once you have different output for different projects? How do you go through it? Do you learn that skill, or maybe how do you do it?
We usually
is it tool oriented sometimes, or you just make it work? Like how do you do it?
It's I mean, of course, a creative block is a serious, like it's a thing that any creatives, anyone who's listening right now will is possibly like going through it right now and they're listening to this podcast. But that's the thing, like it's always going to be there. But what you have to do is, I think, like for us, like when we have a creative block at a particular project, we sort of leave that project on hold for some time and then move on with other projects. Of course, because we have too many projects working on simultaneously, so it's better to give that attention somewhere else. But yeah, when we just sort of chill a little bit, have conversations with our friends and people that are in the same industry, and trying to understand their view on this issue, and then we come back to the thing and work our creativity again.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Because I think in order to be a better designer or communication designer, graphic designer, industrial designer, visual communication is something which always helps you get ideas. So like for example, I think in this room all of us sketches a lot. So I think that's one of the things which helps all of us. So
sketching a lot,
yeah.
I mean, Puneet and
we are sketching still, all of us.
That's so cool. I think it's
really nice.
It's one of the most underrated thing no one talks about when you are learning design.
It's so good as well. I mean,
and
sometimes one time we got this client from Spain, I think, and he was not able to communicate with us properly. So we majorly communicated with him
through doodles
that's so cool.
Doodles,
doodles.
only
That's so cool.
And and it was so nice.
Yeah, because it's very confusing for people that they think the idea should be it should look nice. Your sketching should look nice. I think one of the things people don't get up to sketch is that they don't think that they are good enough. But I think it doesn't have to be very good. It should be communicative, I think. It's very underrated, I think.
Sketching is a very primal thing that we've been doing for a long time as humans,
I think since Stone Age.
Yeah, since Stone Age we've been
scribbling on the stone.
It might not be, in this right perspective and stuff, but of course, thousands of years later we're studying them. So as long as it just shows like the idea, just shows the idea. Even a small sketch on a napkin can really do wonders. So sketching is something.
Napkin sketches. Oh my
Napkin
god. There have been so many of them.
Yeah, I can see.
I can never sketch good on napkins.
Also depends upon the tip of the pen.
Tip of the pen. If it's too inky, then you're dead.
Also depends on the napkin.
It depends on the napkin. Yeah, I think like people like really stop because they feel that their sketches are not good looking. But like that's like one way to look at it.
Yeah.
But like sketching is much more than that.
Much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think wherever you are stuck, sketching always helps. Like even if you have some images, or you can just take it to Photoshop, or if you don't want to put pen on paper. But I won't recommend that. I think everyone deserves some nice time with pen and paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things that everyone, even if you're not so good at sketching, it's sketching.
I think now it does not really matter maybe much if you don't know much sketching.
Yeah, again,
because now there are so many tools like directly now you can 3D model something.
You can
put it on SketchUp and you can like sketch over it.
And this is how people showcase their sketches, like showing the design, but that same design is getting replicated. So you don't see the process while going.
So process.
That's the process.
Yeah. So now, yes, the process is not there anymore. Like people are like showing more of the results.
Results, yeah. I think it's a result-oriented world in design.
Right
It
now.
is very quick, very like on time.
Express.
Yeah, and
like lately on Instagrams, I've been seeing a lot of designers doing that, like result-oriented stuff. Okay, they have the brief in mind, but I think it's good when you are ideating and not something which is maybe on the final stage.
Exactly.
Because I think process is very important when you are trying to develop something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
maybe this could be one of the phases you start with, and then you develop it later.
So which is very cool, I think. Okay, so we've been talking about freelancing and design education. How much do you guys think experience matters, like a job experience? How much it is important for people? For example, okay, I've been learning things from YouTube. I've been sketching. मैंने portfolio बना लिया. उसके बाद okay, what should I just start freelancing, or do you think experience is important?
I feel
or like, what do you think?
If you get the opportunity, like start freelancing right away. There is no harm in this at all. Like start freelancing if you have that aim in your head that you want to go in certain company, then you start working towards it, apply, do the interview process and everything while you're freelancing.
What would be good is that you do internships, and that's what we both did. We did internships, and then our first as soon as we graduated, we started doing freelance right away. So internships really helped us, and so I mean have a little bit of maybe a little industry exposure, but yeah, like right away start if you have the
industry
opportunity.
exposure. I think yes, you need to have
A little bit. In terms
It's a very okay.
just to know, just to get the hint what's out there in terms of job.
I think it'll be very with the kind of design you're studying. Maybe like it's different for automotive. It's totally different for automotive
It's so
design.
different.
I think it's very important to spend some time in the industry if you're planning to go into automotive design, to be specific. But I think product design.
I feel if we let's say are only into automotive design and we don't do product design, like I think then we need to have a really good amount of automotive job experience in a good firm.
It's a bigger product.
Maybe that could help us much more.
Yeah.
Right
It's
now.
a complex.
So now
process.
since we are automotive designers, like transportation graduates, so industrial design was quite handy for us.
Even as a student, when you do an internship and at the same time you do a freelancing project as well, so you get that experience.
Yeah.
You get that experience.
Like 2 projects at the same time and you finish both at the same.
Internships are the
So
best.
yeah, internships are really important.
Yeah,
So and what do you think about interning somewhere for free?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a really delicate topic.
It is, but it's something. Of course, like if the student is, you shouldn't work for free first of all, and if the student is coming to your facility to work as to get work experience, you also should, spend some money on them because they are giving your
They're
your
giving
That
time.
made
value.
sense to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, they have like fresh minds. They want to do many things. Like we want to do many things. So obviously it makes sense that we will boost. Will be an asset to your studio. So you should.
Yeah, and especially internships, like it gives you a small window of opportunity to see life of how it would be as a professional. So if you're getting the money out of the internship, it's better to understand how to spend it, how to manage it, and things like that. So of course, internships should be paid and
Yeah, it should be paid. It
Yeah.
should be paid.
pay your interns.
The thing is, it's such a big deal because अभी तूने बोला था that design institutes are so expensive. So it is the first thing that you get paid off of. The internship. That's the first thing that you get in your mind. Like it's so much
Yeah.
value it holds
It's the first
to
earning.
pay the student for the job.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really thing
It's a
to
sensitive
discuss.
topic
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you I've always even when I get freelance projects or something of that sort, I in some of them some of the projects I have this liability of providing some crazy amount of designs or like the amount of proposals and stuff, and
Like
then
you get carried away.
yeah, I got carried away, and I sometimes a lot of times I just I'm afraid to screw up, right? I think is it a normal thing or it's just me?
Yeah,
Like-
it is normal.
No,
Yeah,
it
because
is
a lot of
very
I've been
common.
doing some projects lately, and one of it was too intense, and I was a lot of time I wasted because I thought I'll end up screwing up the project.
But
I don't know why we're thinking about it.
Did the client make you uncomfortable with your proposals?
Yeah, maybe it was a high paid project. Maybe that's why.
Ah,
Maybe I wouldn't do
possible.
justice
Yeah.
with the kind of work I have coded for.
So
Because again,
So you
because
were
this,
disliking your own.
yeah, kind of, and I was afraid. Okay,
Should I send it to him?
Yeah, this is basically one of the things we face in the beginning. Maybe after a few projects, I don't feel that same again. But what do you think about when do you feel afraid when to screw up or something in any stage you've thought that okay you'll end up screwing up or
Yeah, I think everyone, especially in today's generation, I think we're really taught to be self-critical. So it's something that we really underestimate ourselves. And of course, kids who are listening right now, recently graduated or in the university, you might feel it stronger. But with age, you learn to cope up with these things. And it's, of course, always better to fail early than later. So it's better to fail right now at such a young age and such a young establishment rather than doing something wrong eventually when you're handling bigger budget clients and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
think
true.
give yourself
yeah, don't go hard on yourself.
yeah, don't go hard on
Yeah.
yourself. Like life is already complicated.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you have to also remember you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to have fun with it.
Definitely,
Obviously.
definitely. Having fun with it is the only reason we opted for design.
Yeah. Like,
So yeah.
sometimes when I feel difficult with a client or we feel difficult, we find that the communication is making the situation thoda sa bitter, let's say. So we feel that we need to enjoy this process, because everything at the end of the day, whatever the results that we are oriented to,
Yeah.
it will have all of this ups and downs. You need to have bad communication at some point to understand what good communication is. So
Yeah.
so that's how we feel that we should have fun, and it's all right. And
Yeah. At the
Yeah,
end of the
definitely.
day, you'll be fine.
yeah,
You will
Yeah,
be fine.
I think a lot of it is also depends upon how you are managing yourself.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's very important
that's
to
true.
how you're managing yourself and how you're keeping up with all your day to-do tasks.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about your schedule or what's your day schedule like?
So our day starts off working with the clients that are, we have clients from all over the globe. So we have the American clients, we attend to them like 8 to 10, and then we have our European
yeah,
clients.
freelancing में time का भी
Time का भी
बहुत,
होता है.
Yeah, that's there.
situation.
So different, especially if you're working remotely, you're working with a lot of different time zones, and it might be 3 a.m. in India, and you have a guy somewhere sitting in Argentina, and he's like, I want to get this render done right now. So that's the thing. So it's sort of jumbled up every time, but so we start off with
Time zone
working
also.
time zone wise. And
Yeah. Time zone also sometimes make the client question if they want to hire. It depends, like where you are at. Sometimes, not all the time.
Sometimes.
Some clients do care about this.
Yeah.
Like if they are at their office at, let's say, 3 in the afternoon, and if here it's like late in the night, they would expect results.
Yeah.
True.
So you have to.
Or they won't hire you. If they hire you, they will expect results, or they will not.
True.
Yeah.
But that's the best part about being a freelancer. Like your schedule is so unpredictable. It's like different days. You have different type of things happening. And even if you have to pick up a call at 3 a.m., you know that you will wake up at 11 a.m. next day. You give yourself that rest that you put in the time.
But there have been times where, like, we thought that we submitted a project, and we did submit it. There was this one last iteration we had to do, and we got a call at 1 a.m. and we actually did it for that person, and we sent it to him.
Wow.
So you also have to be this flexible, because we were expecting, we had a good relationship with him, and we were expecting it to go along. So you have to obviously go bend a little.
Yeah, you gotta hustle a bit.
Yeah, a little hustle.
Yeah.
True.
Even though we were not sleeping in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, smooth. So yeah, currently as you've mentioned, you've got ventilator projects in the COVID times when the COVID was at its peak. What do you think about being a specialist and being a generalist? This is one of the things I've been like asking people, like, is it bad to be a specialist, or is it bad to be?
I feel people sometimes let's say I'm talking about designers. Like I feel designers think journalists are not so good, but companies do hire them.
Okay.
A lot of companies. hire them.
Why do you think that they think
Because
that?
I feel I don't think that. I feel I would actually, you know what? I would rather be on the journalist side than
than
on
a
the
specialist.
specific side.
That's what we are. Like we as Opacity Co, we are
But
also.
then again, I'm sorry to interrupt again. But again, the thing is, like, there's nothing to be. There's nothing you're focusing on as per that you are selling.
True.
Fine, industrial design is a very big subject. Many things involved in it. But then again, like, there are other things as well into this.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, Pragya.
No, yes. Of course, like as Opacity Co, no problem. As Opacity Co, we are more of generalists. We don't have a specialty yet, or would ever actually have a specialty. But if, for example, there's something that you want to go ahead and abide by all your life, you can do it. But I think as creative minds, we are, creative,
We
like
tend to
wanderers. Like we
It should be
automatically
tool oriented specifically, because a lot of jobs are like, for example, in automotive design, there's this surface modeling, and in a lot of companies, it's just they are just doing that, and without any motive or without any creative iteration, they are just making it up. So I was doing that some time ago.
You were, but you realized it, So I'm sure people do realize it.
It's good to be specialist. If they're loving it, it's great for them. But I think I had more in me than just that. So I also wanted to explore myself as a journalist, as an ID journalist, than a surface specialist.
Yeah.
So it's
So Abhi, what would you call yourself?
a design journalist.
Design journalist.
Yeah, I've been the kind of projects I've been doing are pretty versatile. I've been doing some packaging design projects and also some surface modeling, which I was doing.
That has crazy contrast.
Yeah. So it's honestly kind of fun, because I always wanted to try myself to different challenges and stuff. Maybe I wasn't realizing it because in college I had this thing in my head to get a good job at some good place and spend my time there. But I got it. But it wasn't something where I really wanted to see myself growing on that point. Because I think as I said, I think I could do more in it because I loved sketching and at the same time I loved graphic design.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think I'm happy. I'm happiest than ever.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
With this arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
good.
cannot always
can-
do one thing all the time.
हाँ.
Like,
वो भी सही है मतलब अभी so this freelance life also gives me time to explore myself as a musician or as a DJ or so it's something which is cool where you get to explore yourself and it's a fun process.
it's very
It can be
very expressive.
it can have a lot of hustles but at the same time it gives you something, no?
Yeah.
That's why we are doing
but
it, no?
Hustle is the process, and
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's why we are doing it, right? Or what's driving you? Like what keeps you motivated and how do you think that like every day you're getting up from bed and how are you keeping yourself motivated? Okay, ठीक है, मतलब maybe I'm struggling right now or maybe I'm still waiting for the client's money and like how are you keeping yourself motivated on daily basis if it's if it makes sense?
The motivation, of course, comes with the money.
yeah.
How much bread we are making.
Yeah, let's talk about the money and let's also talk about how our like a lot of people are charging so much less and making it difficult for the rest of them.
Yes.
It's true, right? Or
It is
just
true.
me?
It is
true.
Especially with the Indian market, it's just that if you get clients from outside, they automatically expect you to sort of have a lower price.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's so not nice.
That's not at all true.
They reach out to
They
us
are-
and thinking कि ठीक है हम लोग सस्ते में करते
हाँ,
हैं.
वही
Like,
ना.
what the hell, dude?
Like हम भी कर सकते हैं अच्छे खासे पैसे में यार, जरूरी नहीं है you pay us less.
So how to change that narrative of like charging less and like devaluing your work because it's just you just spend half an hour in a software kind of a perception people. That's where
Again, like you
hard
have
clients
to
come
educate.
from.
Like again, like this is where you have to educate your
Yeah.
clients and show them your value and show them the process. And it's not कि आधे घंटे में हम करेंगे तो हो जाएगा, आपका product बन जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है. We put in a lot of time. That's why we have to show transparency in the process and show them that whatever you're paying, every single penny is sort of going to the value of their work.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
We need to charge so much more than
We need to
what we are
charge
charging.
more for sure. There's so much into the whole thing that we do. that
Yeah,
industrial
dude, we've
design.
spent
At
a
least-
lot
at
of
least
money on
industrial
design education, at least in our case.
Design education, yes.
Yeah,
and
and-
then the equipments you have,
The software
softwares
you
you
use,
have.
yeah.
hardware,
So-
software, everything.
Yeah, so talking about your hardware. So how do you think a good how good is a good PC to get you started? Like, what do you think about the hardware? Do you think it's gonna stop you to a process where you can't do it without a good hardware or something? What do you think?
I feel yes. Like if you don't have a certain hardware, you cannot achieve a certain result.
Okay.
Like
So invest on hardware.
If you have not necessarily as well. Like then it comes down to traditional media. It comes down to having, let's say, a Cintiq, Photoshop. Then also you can create madness with just that.
Yeah, and
But-
there are a lot of
but
freeware
talking
also.
about
I think
freeware as
you
well.
can use.
So many of them. But talking about just hardware, obviously you cannot generate high quality like different panels showing renders. You cannot
Yeah.
create big
True.
without a
definitely-
good graphic card
Yeah.
or nice processor.
Yeah.
Yeah, invest in a good computer or
I
hardware.
feel like initially you can also invest in some nice like 55,000, 60,000 laptop. Even that can do.
Yeah, that can do
Work
wonders.
initially.
Even that
Yeah.
can do crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's
All of us initially had that. Even I had.
Yeah,
even
we
in
all
college,
did.
dude. I think I still have it. It's
Yeah.
I use it for maybe I don't know for some surfing stuff maybe to
You
watch
should
some
join the
video.
Cool Kid PC Club.
Nah, dude, PC.
Get
Yeah,
some-
buy that
get some
PC you always
PC.
wanted.
Yeah, get it. Get it. It's gonna go a long way, and honestly,
Yeah,
you can
it's gonna
manage a
feed
lot
you,
of
yeah.
projects
Yeah.
on just one computer.
No, obviously, think about it. Like the amount you spend on the PC, you have to earn 10 times that amount. Whatever amount you invest in it, you will obviously you will work on it, and you will get 10 times more than that.
Anything you want to talk about? What's in the menu, man? Like I forgot to what's coming up. Like I've seen some really cool sketches on the table, and what's like let us know like what's on the menu.
So right now, of course, like we have some things out there in our portfolio on the internet, but right now because we have a lot of client work, we are not able to self-generate. And also another thing you need to understand is client work is usually NDA. So you can't really put it on your portfolio. So you have to sort of self-fund projects that you can put on so that people can see what your capabilities are. So right now
That's
we're
important.
So we have this design aesthetic in our mind and the intention in our mind,
Yeah.
and then we would like to, let's say, do it ourselves, or by that time comes, we hire talent and we ask them to do it. That vision.
Because it also gives you a lot of time to look for more opportunities, right?
More opportunities.
Yeah.
By the time our work is getting done, we are looking through it, we hire more people, and we get a person
Yeah.
also looking for some.
So yeah, it's always a
Work.
good idea to pass it on to someone who can
Yeah.
Yeah,
make your
I think
process easier, right?
Yes.
Eventually,
Instead of just
it is
learning and like
possible.
doing it yourself and taking a
Yourself.
lot of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Because also you have to keep that in mind about you have to keep the quality in mind you want to deliver.
I think generalists usually hire specialists.
Yeah,
that's that's what it is.
Yeah, you summed it up.
yeah. Also, I've been doing some sketches. Yes, I also do some portrait, and then some like mech art.
Yeah.
Sweet,
As
sweet,
well.
yeah. Yeah, it's always like when you are into this scene, you always have space to try something and then fail to it. I think that's how you
Yeah.
learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you try
Yeah.
something and then you figure out okay this is not working, but you gotta try. You have to put
You
those
have to try.
action, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes like even like I have experienced it, or obviously तुम सब लोग ने भी किया होगा experience कभी, like when I'm thinking I cannot draw this particular object, and when I actually stop thinking and start doing it, I end up drawing it, like,
Achieving it.
achieving it, and then you try it again, and then you achieve it again.
Yeah, always try. I think that's the thing. Like even kids these days, they it's not about shortcuts. It's not about like hard work. Of course, it's always about doing things smartly, but at the same time, sketching is something you need to practice over and over again.
Also, we are like as Opacity as well. We are thinking towards like going for certain studios which we see as our potential work client as well. So we are like gathering some list of studios that we would like to work with as freelancers or as external designers as well, and like get good high tech products out there
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
and make them transparent.
Yeah.
Show the process.
Yeah, process is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think now since we have so many tools around us, we tend to forget the process and kind of revolve around it, end up not generating as we've thought. So I think process is something.
Generating sketches initially, like
Yeah.
we used to. Initially, we used to doodle, and then we would come to a form, and then you'd start. So now the processes are different.
And how much do you think reading is important?
Extremely.
It's really important.
Yeah.
Reading, of
It's so
course.
important.
You gotta read, man. You gotta read those books out there.
Yes.
There's a gem of stuff.
Read
out
or
there. There's a
listen.
treasure of
Like listen to books. These days you're listening, rather than reading
Yeah.
to books. But
So you have audiobooks around.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cheap to do. Some of them are just free on
Yeah,
the
you can
internet.
listen to them
yeah,
like,
develop.
while you're doing something else. Like
Yeah, I think I wrote down a question and forgot asking about it. Any tips for the people who are maybe working in corporates or like working in IT and wants to shift to design, or they've been doing something? How do you want to motivate them? Like what do you think they need to do?
I I feel like the best would be you do your job, you come back, and you do what you want to do.
Yeah, like
yeah.
And you like start with your own self then. Like sit at a desk, whatever the job is, and make it happen. Start.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Just-
sums it up.
Yeah, like if you come back home, just if you think you want to get into design, just make something up for yourself, create a portfolio, see the response, and if people see the critiques, and then don't leave your job right away.
Yeah, don't leave your job
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
Fade it out.
Fade it out.
Like have some faith that you're gonna choose this path. And
Yeah,
you
you
need to
gotta-
have some
yeah.
faith. Okay, fine, my portfolio is good. I think I can nail this. Then if you have that kind of or maybe more confidence in that,
Awesome. Man, it was such a crazy conversation we've
Yes.
had. Right, it's awesome.
It's
We've been-
good to have you in Pune.
Yes,
You?
yes, I'm
we
happy.
could
I'm
also
loving
have it longer.
yes, yeah, we can keep on talking
We can
about
keep
our
talking, yeah.
shit and stuff. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Puneet and
Thank
Pragya,
you.
for
Thanks.
for this. It's
Awesome.
I remember we've been planning about this for some time now. I
Yeah.
think on one of the NYE event we've decided that okay, let's
NYE 2020.
yeah, but 2020 maybe didn't work, but it gave us some hope
Yeah.
to move forward, right? It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was good after all. Maybe
After
for
all.
us only.
Awesome, guys. So
Thanks, Q, for
Thank you,
having
Q.
us.
yes, man, yes. So yeah, enough for today. Stay tuned. Peace.
Bye.